I am a donkey. I have headphones. Watch me in your cinemas this week.
And I will,
That.
literally. So, welcome to yet another Oscar long day. Well, British Oscars, technically.
Yeah.
So, another award show prediction podcast exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen, and welcome to the BAFTA predictions. So, joining me as always, we have Ashley
Mm-hmm.
and AJ.
Yes.
Ashley's the only person that's out of place here because he is the only one of us that is not wearing blue.
Hang on.
AJ,
No.
you could be wearing green from my vantage point. I can't really tell very much.
I'm not really sure what this is.
You look like you're asleep, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
There you're awake. There you go.
I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning, so that would make sense anyway.
Hey, it's just like me in 1917.
That's what Kathleen Kennedy does to you. God damn it.
Josephine says this is the first time the Oscars have been held during the sign of Aquarius. Yeah.
What when the
Well,
moon?
think about it this way.
When the moon is in its seventh house, and and Jupiter lines with Mars. I can't remember the other words.
I'm sensing a Macho Man Randy Savage promo right now.
No, but what is it? Fucking Aquarius Let the Sunshine In from some musical. Chat or no?
Age of Aquarius
Yeah.
Hair.
from Hair.
Yeah, that was it. It's the Age of Aquarius. I don't know. That was
Yeah, but think about it this way. 3 years ago, when we had an Oscar Sunday, was the last time I lived in West Virginia and moved here to Orlando the day after. So it's crazy how the Oscars.
You could also take that as if you really want to, you could link Aquarius to the show about the Manson murders. If you want to talk about that's where the Oscars are set, but I doubt we're going to get that lucky at this point.
Would be nice.
Stop reminding me of the haunting of Sharon Tate.
Thanks, overrated really, Oscar bait.
Yeah, I printed these BAFTA nominations off of Gold Derby when they first were announced.
Oh God.
So at the top of the page, it says the top 3 in picture, odds-wise, are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and Parasite.
Why can't it still be like that? Please tell me why.
Because Irishman isn't that good.
This is dated the 7th, yeah. So.
Josephine also chimes in and says there's a potential for a Florence Pugh upset at the BAFTAs, being that she's British.
Yes, we'll get to that.
This is the one time this whole season I've played it very, very, very wild when it comes to some of my predictions. It is time to take out my safety scissors and make sure that I do everything nice and safe this time around. And this will be the award show that messes everything up.
Am I the only one that thinks they're going to be like totally and completely safe?
No.
No, apparently, because we both seem to agree with that.
There is one.
Maybe not totally and completely.
There is one that I think is going to be the one that people should see coming but won't see coming. I'm not getting to it because I don't want to ruin. I don't want to show my hand early.
Yeah, I don't know about that at this point. So basically, Brad Guy says, well, guys, this is the show that we have to call it Le Mans 66.
Yes!
This is true.
Although, to be fair, it's only up for 3 awards, so it's not that hard.
Got a chance to win all 3 of them, too. Donkey with Headphones should have won a Grammy, says Josephine.
Hang on, what? Is the donkey the Democrats? Or is it the Republicans? I don't know what the symbolism is. All I know is over here it's like conservatives is weird shit, like a tree. Labor's a rose.
That's a thing. Bry Guy says, of course, we lost an Oscar winner this past weekend.
I hope that gets in the tribute. I can't remember what the fucking website is. Dearbasketball.com. They've put it up for free for everybody to
Nice.
see.
I'd see no reason he won't be in the memoriam.
Oh no! I mean, it's it's now as the Guardian article said, the short film is now like the ultimate epitaph.
Yeah.
That he did.
Bry Guy says, don't forget the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson.
I can't wait to see what he does next. The suicide of Jeffrey Epstein? Like, is he gonna piss people off that much? I don't know. Like,
Once again, Josephine is talking about her want of Florence Pugh and Post Malone to date.
I am kind of psyched to see him in the Peter Berg movie. So,
oh god.
I mean, we already saw Post Malone in a movie. His character's name was Alien, and it was in Spring Breakers. So if you're live right now, you've got to jump on everyone else because you're going to get to be one of the fortunate few that get to. AJ's staring at me and smiling. It's creepy. Its camera is dead. Camera is dead.
Refresh.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is if you're live, you're going to be able to get our Spirit Awards predictions up next. But for those of you that are in archive, you either are going to have to wait till tomorrow or you're going to have to wait until later to check those out because those are going to be done afterwards. So as soon as we're done with this podcast, we're going to kick right into a Spirit Awards podcast. AKA probably one of the shortest podcasts we do because there's really not much to talk about. And yes, Thursday, the day has finally arrived. It's going to be our official Oscar prediction at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It might be a little bit later than 6, but not very much. Because I have to pick up something real quick as soon as I get off work, and I get off work at 4, so that makes it a little difficult, but I'm going to rush home as soon as I can.
God, it's going to be like Peter Potamus from Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Did you get that thing that I sent to you?
So officially they announced that everybody is going to be performing their Oscar-nominated songs, according to Bry Guy.
Okay. Hang on, I need to look at my list and work out what. So it's actually going to be Randy Newman doing it. I appreciate that.
That's what is said right now.
So does that mean Elton and Edgerton are going to be performing?
You are correct, according to Bry Guy.
And for Into the Unknown, can it actually be, fucking Fallout? What is it? Who was it that did it?
Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco. Can it be them?
No, it's Idina Menzel.
Yeah. We'll mute for that one. I'm getting lots of GIF screens for intermissions, just to fill time when boring stuff is happening. Let's just say Sam Rockwell and Adam Driver are being lined up as we speak.
All I ask is you.
Along with Becky.
Ashley, I just request Nick Gage and Orange Cassidy. We'll be good to go.
If I can find the GIF, it's going in there.
As great as it is how the Spirit Awards acknowledge movies that would not have been recognized otherwise, they are sort of participation awards, says Josephine.
Wow.
Yes. But never forget the wrestler beat the Hurt Locker.
Yeah, but that also just kind of proves the whole thing of even though they're the first ones to like do the big nominations, when the show finally comes around, they always end up going with the stuff that has the momentum.
So you're telling me Parasite isn't going to win foreign film at Spirit because it's going to win it at the Oscars? That's what we're doing, right?
AJ is now a black abyss in the middle of the screen.
Well, for you he is. For everybody else, it's the black
Yes,
abyss on the left.
yes, correct. Because I'm seeing it on my screen
Ooh,
behind me, or to the side of me, I guess you would say.
God damn it. Am I gonna have to get that GIF of Adam Driver early and just put it over AJ's spot in case?
Like I said last time, as long as you can hear me.
Yeah, hang on.
That's fair.
We're adding on the fly. I'm adding on the fly. Image. Adam.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be predicting the BAFTAs tonight, and then as soon as it is over, live viewers, we're going to be predicting the Spirit Awards. If you're not live, that video will be the next day video, I believe Wednesday, and then Thursday is our Oscar predictions. 6 o'clock, if not a little bit later than that, and I don't mean later as in like 6:30. I mean like minutes after that, Eastern Standard Time, our Oscar discussion, predicting everything. Even though we pretty much already have indirectly with the other award shows. So yes, Ashley, this is your award show. More ways than one. This is the award show you get to see before any of us, but
Well,
still not late
technically.
as early as you could.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if I somehow got there to be there in person, then that'd solve everything. Hang on. There we go.
Josephine says, I'm going to miss you guys after the Oscars. Honestly, Josephine, we're going to be live during the Oscars, and we'll just do a quick wrap up and then
Oh,
take it
shit.
home.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to put Adam there because the camera fixed itself. Did Adam Driver cause it? There we go.
Maybe.
Adam Driver gif at the top. Fuck you, Hanks.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's frightening.
That was SNL proved why Adam Driver needs to win everything this year. What a fucking show!
Can Adam Driver play Norman Bates, please?
Yeah, well, you never know. We might get another remake.
On Groundhog Day, hosted by Graham Norton.
So the one we already knew about because I ranted about it last week. Kathleen Kennedy getting the Fellowship Award.
Right.
They have also announced now the Outstanding Contribution to British Cinema Award. And I'd say this is long overdue, considering it's likely that he'll never win one of these because they never acknowledge his sort of performance. Andy Serkis.
That's fair.
Not just, I guess, for his directing and whatever, but not just for his Gollum and whatever, but also his directing and sort of producing.
Motion capture.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've been talking about Serkis winning or getting nominated for something for a long time. So it is well overdue.
Yeah, he got that Critics' Choice nomination for Rise of Planet of the Apes, which was nice, except for the fact that it was Critics' Choice.
Still don't know why that does so well of views, but doesn't really do much when it comes to actual televised award.
Yeah, this year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we starting with Rising Star?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
The public one. So then you've always got to work out the public deal and what's going to happen with it.
Well, there we have. I assume we're starting now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For Rising Star, we have Aquafina, Jack Lowden, Caitlin Deaver, Kelvin Harrison Jr., and Michael Ward. Need I say who I want this to be? But I'm going to say Aquafina.
Ashley.
No, Owen, you go next, because I'm not revealing my hand.
You're second. That's how the rules go.
Okay. Considering that the film that this guy came from is YouTube heavy, and I'm hoping Rapman is trying to fix this with all the YouTube views that he normally gets, I'm actually going with Michael Ward, because this is the only award that Blue Story has a chance of winning because it didn't get nominated in anything else. And I think there is going to be something happening there to get that through and acknowledge it somewhere, somehow.
Interesting. Well, okay. I was gonna go with Jack Loudon here, and he's actually my second guess. I think this may be the only award for the rest of the season the farewell gets.
So what are you picking then?
No, never mind. No, I just thought of something big. Never mind. One of the last awards for the farewell to get.
So you going for
Because I
Aqua?
forgot about something in
You
spirit.
going for Aqua then, or?
Yeah, we're going Aquafina here.
Okay. Jack Loudon would be the boring choice. Any of the other four wouldn't. So next up is the new category, I think.
Yeah, I've never heard of this category before.
Are we or are we not doing the shorts?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I was just going by the order of Wikipedia.
That's the order I've got.
We can do the shorts first if you want. I don't mind.
That'd be a little
Easier on your.
less.
Damn you, go Derby!
Accurate.
So I guess we'll do British live action short.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where we have Azar, Goldfish, Kamali, Learning to Skateboard in a Warzone if you're a girl, and The Trap. It almost seems too easy, but I'm going to go ahead and say Learning to Skateboard in a Warzone if you're a girl.
What do you got, Ashley?
The irony is, I think The Trap might actually be The Trap because, of course, it's produced by Lena Headey. So it's like, and we know how actors doing producing or directing does well, considering. What was it? The one that Paddy Considine did that won a few years back, before he did Tyrannosaur and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still gonna say Learning to Skate in a Warzone if you're a girl. But I wouldn't be surprised if something happened there.
I mean, all else fails when you don't know what to do. Pick the thing nominated for the Oscar.
Because in all honesty, it's probably the only time it might win. Because I'm not getting my hopes up.
I don't know about that.
I'm not getting my hopes up against I'm not getting my hopes up against Netflix and all their fuck money.
Virgil?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's a deep cut right there.
Actually, the funny thing is, you both know what I'm talking about. Brad Guy says it's just like voice acting. Motion capture performances are ineligible for acting categories at the Oscars. Brad Guy says, "See, this is why we don't use Gold Derby in sources of terms of predictions." It's not wrong. I feel like I'm sinking into the chair. It looks like
You look very low.
I'm not though. All right. You can tell I'm comfortable, I guess. Next.
Okay, we can't use the go for what's nominated for the Oscar this time. Best British animated short.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a still of any of these. This is a total in the dark guess. It's either Granddad Was a Romantic, In Her Boots, or The Magic Boat. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a deja vu thing. The Magic Boat looks really familiar. Has it been here before?
It was shown at the Encounters Film Festival. I'm looking up. It's actually a UK Lebanese co-production. All in Arabic. The Magic Boat, an intimate insight into the relationship between a mother and her child in the midst of the most dangerous journey of their lives. so I'm guessing it's a refugee style story. In
Well,
her
good, because that's what I went with.
in her boots, just to maybe sway your thinking. Heidi is experiencing strange things. While her granddaughter is visiting, she suddenly embarks on a hiking journey to the deepest part of the Alps, revealing the reason for her devoted attachment to her hiking shoes. And my pick,
Is it wild?
my pick, Granddad was a romantic. Because the write up literally says, "My granddad was a romantic. He once saw a picture of my granny and realised that she was the love of his life. One day he decided to go meet her." So, yeah, just for that synopsis alone, I hope that wins. Even if it doesn't, who cares? That's awesome.
Split.
God, I hope Owen says in her boots, so then we've actually got a category where it's all tension mounting. Because there's only 3 nominees.
Do I need to send you back to the Walking Dead videos of Halloween Horror Nights Past, Ashley?
Probably.
Because that would tell you that somebody that is now all about power and not bad news is who I'd go with in this circumstance. So no, that is not the case. I'm also going with the magic boat.
Right.
Favorite hiking movie, says Josephine.
How many are there?
Touching the Void.
There's not many.
Touching the Void. Vertical Limit. Alive.
127 hours.
Yeah, because that's obviously not winter hiking. That's Free Solo. That's technically hiking up a fucking mountain.
All right, the next one I have is Debut by a British writer, director, or producer.
Okay. Shift up to the top.
Where the heck is that? Oh, okay.
After cinematography.
Okay, I got it.
We have Bait for Sama, Made, Only You, and Retablo or
Retablo, I think it is.
I think it's at the Spirit Awards too, so it's good to know that now. Because it's a documentary that's got 4 fucking BAFTA nominations, I'm gonna say for Sama.
What do you got, Ashley?
Same. I think for Sama is going to take it here because I don't think it's going to stand much of a chance in the others.
For Sama.
All right.
Oh, good question.
Oh.
AJ, Bry Guy confirmed something else. Does the 20-minute sequence in the walk count?
We're getting really loose with our definition.
Would that be considered hiking?
Of hiking, yeah.
Maybe the walk up the building to get to the rope, maybe.
Yeah. Josephine says, I watched both American Factory and For Sama this past weekend. Both were excellent. Did you see any documentaries? If so, which one was your favorite?
Does that mean technically King Kong is a hiking movie? I just realised that.
I have the only one in contention I think I've seen is Apollo 11, but I am planning on watching American Factory, The Edge of Democracy, and For Sama like this week.
I'm going to have to go into my list now, aren't I?
Okay.
I saw Apollo 11 twice, so that's obviously a big one. Also, I saw Diego Maradona, which I thought I shouldn't have liked, but actually it was like I was impressed because to him, like over here, he's like brought up as being the devil. But when you look at the way he was treated, you actually do feel a sort of sympathy for him, which is something that I never thought I'd think. I also saw Being Frank, the Chris Sivey story about Frank Sidebottom, the thing that inspired Frank from what's his name that did Room, Lenny Abramson.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration behind that. I'm trying to see if there were any other documentaries that I saw. There's Diego. No. Da-da-da. Oh, Armstrong. That was weird seeing that and Apollo 11 within about 2 weeks of each other. It's like, I've already seen some of this footage. Thanks. I'd say Apollo 11 and Being Frank would be my favourites. Oh, and also because it got released over here, Amazing Grace. That got a release in April. I know it was obviously only eligible for last year. Did that make it in last year to the nominees, or was that another miss? You know, alongside What You Be My Neighbour. Can't remember off the top of my head. Oh God, the Amazing Jonathan documentary. That is weird. In a good way. You know, it's from, what's his name from Tim and Eric Awesome Show, whatever it is. That's a weird...
I like Jonathan a lot. I probably should watch that.
Yeah, it's an experience. I mean, if you see in the trailer, there's a second documentary being made at the same time, but then it gets even more. It gets more Jonathan. That's the best I can describe it. If you
I'm
know
good with that.
Jonathan's style, it's very Jonathan.
Who would win in a fight, Donkey with headphones or
Donkey with headphones or who? Or King Kong?
yes?
Well, I don't know whether the donkey with headphones actually loves anything, because you know, beauty killed the beast.
His Beats headphones, duh.
Beauty killed the beast, but the donkey's got his beats. I can't even make a joke about that because, hang on, let's go to the tail of a tape. They're actually Beats headphones. Look at it.
It's fun watching these back to the side of me, so it's like something's going on. I got Adam Driver seductively staring at me. There's the donkey with headphones.
Yeah. But they're actually Beats headphones, that's the thing.
Who would you see directing a documentary about political BS with Oscar voting?
Who's willing to burn their bridge with the Academy?
I would be very happy if the answer was Michael Moore.
Can it be somebody that's won though?
The one name I can think of that wouldn't care because people would still watch is probably Alex Gibney. I would argue he'd be a good contender. No, because he'd make it a 4-hour metaphysical documentary.
Yeah.
You look into the abyss of the envelope and say the Academy Award goes to. And for some reason it says Emma Stone when it should say Moonlight. And you realize that Walter Beatty fucked up.
I think it's the only time I would ever say F Dick Tracy. Josephine's liked your rhyming style, said nice rhyme, Ashley. Donkey with headphones would win because King Kong will fight Godzilla later this year.
Is that still coming out this year? I can't remember when that got delayed to.
And yeah, put over your Werner Herzog impersonation. Mm-hmm. Adam McKay is who she said. Next.
All right, here's where we decide for sure if we're going in my order or if we're holding off. Because the next thing on mine is best British film.
No, we're still going in weird order, but
You would just go ahead?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. For Best British Film, we have 1917, Bait, For Selma, Rocket Man, Sorry We Missed You, and The Two Popes. There's an argument to be made for a few of these.
Yep.
There's an
But-
there's an argument for, I'd say, 4. And
But
Yeah, I
might,
see that.
they might be the first 4, because the Ken Loach one wasn't as strong as it probably could have been, and sorry, I just keep seeing the words two popes, and I just want to shake my head so hard it just flies off my neck.
I think I'm just going to be super safe and say 1917.
Ooh.
What do you got, Ashley?
I'm gonna be super safe / risky at the same time and say Bait. I mean, it was my number 2 or number. I can't even remember what number it was, but it was like really high up in my list compared to any of the other 5 films.
I want it to win, and then later we learned
They what? Sorry, the call broke.
Yeah, I did.
You want it to win and what? The call broke. The call broke up a bit. AJ.
I was making a stupid joke and said I wanted to win, and then it's revealed the voters thought it was the Jamie Foxx movie.
Oh God.
You don't like your early Antoine Fuqua?
That's funny, actually. I like that.
Keep in mind that people want to see The Lighthouse are going to get confused by 2 different ones on Amazon Prime Video. One from like only a few years back as well. That's nearly fucking Asylum Films level of what the hell.
Yeah. Again, for me, I feel like there is 4 options here. I didn't even think about Bait. That might be because I'm uninformed.
It's
But
16mm. It's black and white. It's shot in silent. The fucking director did the score, did the writing, did the producing, did the edit. He did fucking everything.
but we already have a Beatty movie that's tops ahead of everything right now, no matter how much I don't like it. Not this movie that might as well be directed by Tommy Wiseau, because he's the one that does everything. Yeah, 1917, I guess.
Well, to be fair,
I'm going to begrudgingly say that every time for the rest of the season.
To be fair, Mark Jenkins didn't star in it, so he's slacking there. But
I think this could have. I honestly think this could go to Rocket Man if they had more behind it, but now I don't believe so.
that for me, it's between 1917 and Bait, with Rocket Man being a strong third, for Sama being slightly further behind because of the other categories it's in 4th, and then Sorry We Missed You and Two Popes, I guess, must have been the write-ins. It's like that. That's the ones for me.
Josephine says, I love The Lighthouse. Symbolism and allusions in Greek mythology were beautiful. As a joke, Robert Eggers should direct a live action Hercules for Disney in black and white.
Oh my god, I would watch the shit out of that.
Wow.
Keep in mind as well, wasn't last year's outstanding British film My Name Is, or no, was it I Am Not a Negro or something else? Like not the obvious one? Hang on, I need to look at my list. Save me Wikipedia. Oh, sorry, they actually went with a No. Yeah, they did go with the boring one. They went with a favourite. Because Bo Rap Horseman didn't win. Oh, they didn't give it to Beast. Oh, so maybe they are stupid. Oh, God, now I should have said 1917. Shit.
Yeah, once again, for the rest of the season, I'm going to say begrudgingly 1917.
Which now makes me wonder if Bates gonna get in debut.
We heard about Disney doing a live action remake of Bambi. Can we stop with these remakes, please? Seriously, ridiculous. Josephine says, I did like 1917, but I would rank it lower on the preferential BAFTA Academy. Let's hope a lot of people share your opinion. Please.
The evidence seems to be pointing more and more to it not being Joker. The script literally says he's the only white face. What are you doing, Todd?
What order is now, Ashley? You know?
Melissa Villasaw's song about white male rage is going to kill that film. And I'm so happy about it.
Are we ready to blow through the next one?
Yeah, what do you got,
Which
AJ?
is?
I don't know why we bother, but let's do foreign.
Oh, right. Okay.
Where we have the Farewell, First Sama, Pain and Glory, Parasite, and Portrait of a Lady on fire. This just says Portrait of a Lady, but I'm assuming it's on fire.
Yeah, it is.
I finally saw Pain and Glory last week.
And?
I really like it. I kind of started to zone out in like the last third, but yeah, and I'm really glad that he's in. Also, I couldn't take.
Oh, no.
You couldn't take... What couldn't you take, AJ? God damn it.
I saw you guys freeze, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to say that shit all over again.
Yeah. You couldn't you couldn't take. That's what we got to.
I couldn't take. Oh, I couldn't take my eyes off his fucking hair. Is what I said.
Fair.
By the way, Parasite.
Ashley?
I mean, I just want it to... I mean, obviously I'm saying Parasite, but I just want it to win because I want it to be in more fucking screens than just a few. That's why I just want it to win Best Picture at the Oscars, because then it's like, you've got no fucking excuse, cinemas. There's clearly going to be demand from people to see the Best Picture. Oh.
All right, before I reveal my hand, which obviously I want to tell the little comments in chat. Josephine says she's all with me about stopping live action remakes. It's corporate BS. Banderas should wear a Puss in Boots costume to the Oscars. That would make her day.
There's not a lot of clothing involved. Is that what she means?
It's very possible. Next on the hit parade.
Documentary.
Sure.
Well, Apollo 11's back.
Yeah.
We have American Factory, Apollo 11, Diego Maradona, Forsama, and The Great Hack. I went ahead and I threw a little bit of a curveball because it came through for me when PGA was here, and I said I'm just going to go with Apollo 11 anyway.
Mm.
I feel like I should keep that up, but I don't think I'm going to.
Ooh.
Like I said, because it got 4 BAFTA nominations, even though I already gave it something else, I'm going to say Forsama again.
Ashley.
Because it's... Hang on. Do they even have a documentary in spirit? Oh, they do. So for the penultimate time, I say Apollo 11.
I am also going to agree with Ashley and go Apollo 11.
All right. And speaking of curveballs, animated.
Yes.
Where I keep forgetting we only have 4 nominees. We have Frozen 2 for the last time, Klaus, Farmageddon, and Toy Story 4. Well, as we saw, Klaus took the Annies. And I feel like I should keep sticking with Toy Story 4 anyway, but I decided to go with Klaus because these are the people that went with Kubo. I know the argument for that would be Missing Link, but Missing Link isn't here. But what I mean is going away from the I would say front runner, but I guess in this case you just have to say Disney movie because animated's kind of been all over the place this year for once.
What do you got, Ashley?
Toy Story.
I'm going with Klaus here.
All right, now we have the new category.
There we go. I got to get down to it, or up to it, I guess, in this case.
All right, there is a documentary that was recommended to me that goes like really in depth about the job of a casting director. I really wish I had watched it before I had to predict this category.
That's fair.
Because I hear it's a lot more complex than people realize. But we have Joker, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Personal History of David Copperfield, and The Two Popes. With the very little knowledge I do have, because I think a lot of people are going to probably mistake this for basically an ensemble award, which it's not quite. I'm going to go ahead and say Once Upon a Time.
Okay. You see, I mean, it's not an ensemble award, but I think if they get the casting right for the roles in the ensemble, then it stands a chance. And I'm literally voting blind here. Even though I'm not seeing it until about 19 hours' time, I'm going to go with Personal History of David Copperfield.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like it almost seems so random. It's like it's here for a reason.
Well, it's got multiple nominations, I think. At least I vaguely remember them saying it was multiple nominated. But it isn't. Why you lie, commercial?
Let's see. Brad Guy says no should be Burger Beard, for considering the news we just got a couple minutes ago, which makes sense. I don't think he'll make it into the in memoriam because it's way too. Well, I don't know. It's been a week, so it's possible. Imagine if the actor who played the bunker guy in Parasite came to the.
He might do. That might be one of the jokes.
Kind of reminds me of something they would do, like one of those bits, like they did when with La La Land, where they had everything. All the music was they're talking about the movies that were nominated.
That might be one of the jokes. There's a trap door in the floor, and the guy runs out. He's like, "He was in here."
Imagine if they delayed the Oscars due to coronavirus spreading. I hope not.
No, they just
do
it with masks on.
Yeah. Netflix dominated the Annies. Josephine says, I watched Missing Link last night. It was kind of meh. Great idea, but followed some contrivances and the dialogue fell flat.
Oh, like Frozen. Right.
Yeah, obviously, we have to know. I'm going to go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood here.
My fear is they just give it to the Two Popes because it's Nina Gold. Because it's like she does everything in terms of casting. That's my fear. I want it to be somebody that isn't her. Maybe he's her somewhere down the line. Don't just make it the Nina Gold Award.
What is next, AJ?
Well, it's not labeled on here. It's cut off. But given what I'm looking at, I assume it's visual effects.
Boy, what are the nominees?
1917, Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
I had, as if that would be anything else to get through.
Special visual effects.
Much like this category at the Oscars, which are these same 5, I believe, I have no fucking idea.
Same.
I mean, I marked one, but I have no idea. And the guild isn't until tomorrow, but not that that's necessarily going to help.
Helps Thursday more than tonight.
I feel like anytime I go for an Avengers movie, it fucks me. So
Accurate.
I've heard a lot of people say that The Irishman is likely, even though some people, that's one of the things people bitch about. If there's just a general love fest, 1917 seems likely.
Having seen it again for a second time today, some of the green screen visual effects don't look great. They even put it in the trailer when the 1917 comes up on the screen. That run across the front line, you can clearly see the green screen behind it.
So instead of picking a movie everybody loves that has visual effects nobody likes, I'm going to pick the movie nobody likes that has the visual effects everybody loves. And
AJ's going with The Lion King.
as I say, that could be Lion King or Star Wars, but I'm saying
You going with episode 9, right? Because the call broke it down again. Star Wars, AJ?
what was that?
Star Wars? Because the call
What about Star Wars?
That's your pick.
No, he's going with Lion King.
Yeah, The Lion King.
Yep, I could tell by how you're building that up that the only answer for you would have been Lion King.
Did it fucking cut off right before I said it?
Yes. Yes. That's what I was trying to work out. Is it like that? I fucking hate Star Wars! Or is it
And your
me
camera
going,
right now
I
looks like
fucking hate Disney remakes? Live action remakes, sorry. Again, I'm obviously going with The Lion King because I want the people to pick up the award and say, we don't have a job now. Thanks, Hollywood, you bastards. You know?
Begrudgingly 1917.
Ooh, that. I think you shouldn't have gone for that. I mean, if they do, the British Academy are idiots. There you go.
We've proven that awards bodies are dumb in the past, so anything can happen. Bry Guy says, speaking visually, since we're getting Sonic in a few weeks, which live-action CGI hybrid would you guys be interested in that's coming near the end of the year?
SpongeBob?
Is this multiple choice? Because I have no idea.
There's literally 2, and my God, if this was multiple years ago, this would suck. Clifford the Big Red Dog or Tom and Jerry.
What the fuck?
I wasn't aware neither of those were happening.
SpongeBob? Do we know if there's any?
That trailer looks good.
Do we know if there's anybody in there?
I saw SpongeBob on what? Maybe Little Women Friday, I think. Maybe.
That's weird.
I think I saw 3 movies Friday, so it's possible. It was either that or 1917. I know it wasn't Parasite.
Well, speaking of 1917, are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Sound.
Okay.
1917, Joker, Ford vs. Ferrari, Rocket Man, and Star Wars. I mean, Ford vs. Ferrari is putting up a fight, but I went ahead and said 1917. It's a little more because I was thinking at the Oscars I wouldn't be surprised if those two split. So I was conflicted that they're combined here.
What you got, Ashley?
Just because of the British way, I'm going to go with 1917.
Well, I got to show my love for Ford versus Ferrari here. Le Mans 66 it is.
Yeah, it says that on here. It basically has a fuck you. I said Ford versus Ferrari.
Wow.
Josephine says, I have a theory these award shows don't count the votes, and the writers of the show just give it to whomever they want. The rigging at the Grammys was revealed. The Oscar rigging revealed next. Rigging of the Grammys? Is this a thing?
Yeah, wow, living under a rock. the fucking chair.
No, I have a shoot job, so I don't have time for these things.
I just thought, being where you are in sort of Parkland, it might have got brought up. I don't know.
No.
The chairwoman of the Music Academy basically got put on suspended leave because of allegations of improper conduct with various people, allegedly. But in turn, she's saying this is fucking rigged. The one example she gave is when they had the meeting with like the major executives, and one of the artists who just so happened to be nominated in the category that he was lobbying for. I think it was a he.
Next.
I just noticed something eerie. Remember how I said these were printed off on the 7th? Back when The Irishman was a top 3 contender?
Oh, God.
This is...
Oh, no.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Watch for them women now. Hang on. We need to see the proof, AJ. It broke down.
This one in the front is the special award for Terry Jones.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Gold Derby, you fucking caused this, you bastards.
I'm just going to set this over there. I believe we left off on score.
No, that's the next one.
We'll go with that, yeah.
All right. This 2-person battle completely consists of 1917, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and Star Wars. I was going to cling to this Newman thing. I really was. But even though 1917 is gaining momentum, I feel like he's not.
Nope.
And these were the first awards to give Joker 11 nominations before the Oscars did. So they clearly love it. So I think she may take this. I hesitate to say easily. I don't know. Because they really fucking love 1917, obviously, and they will more, but I am going to go ahead and say Joker here and say that she does like a near sweep.
What do you got, Ashley?
What I'm just hoping is the way you've built it up, AJ, like JoJo, Little Women, or Star Wars wins, and we're like, what? Having seen it again tonight, and the fact that I don't even remember the Joker soundtrack, 1917. That's just like, just all the fucking Hans Zimmer style honking through that scene with the Roger Deakins scene that's gonna be in the fucking Oscars with all the flares at night with the fire and everything. Like, holy shit!
Running through the fire at night. I get it.
Portrait of a Town on Fire.
Hi, Cassie. Brad Guy says, speaking of the Grammys, why is Billie Eilish doing the next James Bond song? It should be a British artist. Who you want, James Arthur? I don't recommend that.
I mean, Carly Simon's American, and she did a pretty fucking good job. I'm intrigued to see, considering how good her and her brother are at writing the material, I'm intrigued to see what they do. I mean, it's got to be better than Sam fucking Smith.
Accurate. I'll say right now, wow, Braga, you really got topical with all this Billie Eilish talk, especially since she just completely swept the Grammys the other day, and quite honestly was seen on camera saying, "Please don't let it be me."
Well, the fact that it was like record of the year, make a big long speech, please, and she just went bye because she said it all earlier in the night. It's just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Why are you just giving
So
them
this
all to
was a
me?
serious man, then, basically.
Why are you just giving them all to me? You know, if this was the Oscars, they'd be spreading the awards out. The Grammys, just give them fucking the green hair. Green hair. Yes.
Well, that's a lagoon of a different color, but we'll talk about that in a month. So, needless to say, what did you guys like better, Dunkirk or 1917? AJ asked me this today.
Yeah, that's weird.
I know I live in this Truman Show world that AJ and I are convinced is a shoot, but Josephine, are you watching the network right now?
Well, here's the thing: is like most people, when I first saw Dunkirk, the timeline's like really fucked with me.
Yes.
But once you get that figured out, the second time around with Dunkirk is amazing. And I have yet to rewatch 1917, so unfairly, I would say Dunkirk.
I don't think I'm allowed to answer this because everyone knows of my wondrous opinion of 1917 right now. So
I would say 1917, honestly. Just because there's barely any movies made about the First World War. We've seen plenty and plenty of Second World War stuff. But the amount of material covering the First World War is far less. And I think it did a very good, accurate depiction of what shell shock would have been like in 1917.
it sucks that Thomas Newman is not winning, but then again, with a woman composer who hasn't won this category and even been nominated in a
Very true.
obviously Joker here. It's not a sweep because I can't say it's a sweep, but I think that it's going to go the rest of the run.
Yeah. I wouldn't, if it's not like with AJ, if it's not one of them two, I'll be amazed.
I would very much love if Jojo Rabbit got this because I love that movie so much. But it's
Yeah, I mean, let us not downplay how much they fucking love Despois. So
yeah, that's true.
all right, are we moving on?
Yes, we are.
What's up next?
Another one is basically a two-person player. Production design.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? Okay, I'll
Where we
find it
have
here.
1917, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Once again, is it the one-take movie that doesn't repeat its sets, or Tarantino recreating LA entirely? I still think this is going to be a race up until Oscar night, but for here specifically, where I don't think they have as much of a connection to LA, I said 1917.
Ashley.
I mean, I'm just going to put a tick by you for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The fact that all those scene transitions are to different locations, which are perfect for the thing, along with them, the amount of fucking carpenters and plasterers in the credits at the end. 1917. Because how many other people would make a fucking rubble French town in the middle of some field in either Scotland or England? Because I was thinking in the production, when I looked at the credits, I was like, so some of this must have been filmed, like in Europe and whatever. And it's like, no, all filmed in the UK. Right. I don't mean
Next.
I was gonna say. I'm guessing Owen nodded when I said Once Upon a Time in Hollywood earlier. I can't see because I've got the spreadsheet up.
Of course I'm saying
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Again, though, it's probably between those two. If I could see JoJo maybe with an upset.
I'd be okay with that if it happened.
Yeah, that crossed my mind too.
Possibly Joker as well. But then again, that scene on the stairs with the Gary Glitter music means so much different over here.
Let's see. In my memory, I don't know who was a previous composer that was nominated or even winning at the Oscars. Josephine says, I want a movie about the South African Boer Wars. You barely see that.
Yeah, Boer War's probably next if you wanted to do it.
Bry Guy says, woman composer specifically. Desplat is basically the new John Williams.
We say yes, John Williams is in the category.
Yeah, that's true. Josephine says, I saw Jojo Rabbit again with my mom. We loved it. An Oscar voter told Gold Derby recently he's putting JoJo high on his ballot. Don't underestimate it. I would be very happy if JoJo started getting in this race.
The one thing that interests me and also apparently pissed off Neon, who are doing Parasite, Edgar Wright saying, my pick at the minute is between Tarantino and Baumbach. So that's swaying me. Because apparently
Right?
Edgar Wright is the entire Academy, in my opinion.
He was one of the first people to start the Fury Road campaign.
Mm.
Yep. Use your power for good instead of evil, Edgar Wright, please.
Well, he's making a documentary on the music group Spark, so I think he's doing it for good.
Next.
It should be another easy one, but I guess we'll see what they say. Makeup and hair.
Okay.
1917 Bombshell, Joker, Judy, and Rocket Man. Is anybody not going to say Bombshell?
I have a feeling Ashley may not because he looked at you quizzically when you said that. I'm obviously saying Bombshell.
Again,
it feels like it's the only award it's guaranteed to win this year.
I need to catch Bombshell with Weathering with you on Thursday, so I can't do it from experience. My contemplation is whether Rocketman gets it in for making bold Taron Egerton. But I'll stick with Bombshell. I think I have done throughout pretty much the entire stuff. But considering the what's it called, the British sway, the British influence, I would not be surprised if Rocketman got it. Maybe even Judy, for making Renee look sort of like Judy Garland.
Next.
All right, now I'm gonna take liberties with the order because for some reason they have editing below costume design. We're doing costume design now.
Yes.
Damn you, Godfather!
We have The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Judy, Little Women, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I had this discussion with you the other day, Owen. I think I'm going to start going all in on Jojo Rabbit in this category.
Yep, that's what you said. What do you got, Ashley?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I concur.
It's just because if it's the British, they normally like anything Sandy Powell, Jacqueline Duran, or Ariane Phillips does. Judy and Jojo are the sort of outsiders, if you will. They're not the names that you see every fucking year. Well, Ariane Phillips less so, but there's always a Jacqueline Duran or Sandy Powell. Hell, last year wasn't Sandy Powell in for 2, or Duran was in for 2, I think. So she was up against herself.
Didn't she do Mary Poppins Returns, AJ?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the other one. I do remember her being in there. I kept wanting to say Mary Queen of Scots, but I don't think that's right. I don't remember.
Hang on. 70-second awards. Please help me.
I think at this point, honestly, the only costume that I can see out of this race is probably Judy.
Sandy Powell last year won for The Favourite and was nominated for Mary Poppins. And the year before, Jacqueline Duran lost to Phantom Fred Mark Bridges for both Beauty and the Beast and Darkest Hour. And 2015, Sandy Powell for Carol and Cinderella. So
remember that.
All right. Are we on to editing?
Oh, real quick, before we go to editing, Josephine says, Bombshells steam, it bombed literally. Everything except for makeup.
Oh, interesting. The only other time Marianne was actually nominated in anything of note outside of the Costume Guild Awards is Walk the Line and WE.
Oh God, WE, I forgot about that. Literally, we had to watch the movie just for a song nomination. I remember that.
Oh, she actually she does the costumes for the Kingsman series. I'm looking forward to the Kingsman in like October then.
Josephine says, if I were voting for costumes, it would be JoJo or Hollywood Call, though. Next. Editing.
Now it's editing.
Freshman, Forrest Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I feel confident in the one I went with, which makes me feel like it's a red flag. But speaking of flags, Ford versus Ferrari.
What do you got, Ashley?
Same, Le Mans 66.
I have had confidence ever since seeing the movie again, even more so. This is Ford versus Ferraris to win.
He didn't go for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Don't get me wrong. Raskin deserves to be in this race, but sadly he's not.
And don't rule it out. Never rule it out.
Oh, I want him in here. He deserves to be here, but
What?
It's like
Never rule out the Schumacher.
I think it's a three-way battle right now, honestly. But I would say Ford versus Ferrari's got the upper hand right at this moment, at least.
Then again, will they want to give an award to Schoonmaker the year after they literally gave her the fellowship? So that might be the only sway away from that. Maybe.
I still find it very interesting that Parasite took the Guild, though.
Yeah.
Along with Jojo Rabbit, of course, but being against Ford versus Ferrari was very interesting. But as we've said, as important as the guilds are, the guilds also tend to be their own thing. I guess you could say.
More
like David S. Pumpkins?
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes, several.
Hold on. He's still a few categories away. So, are we about to finish the text?
We are about to finish the text.
We're about to finish the Roger Deakins Award.
Yes. I feel stupid even saying the other four.
No, never do that, because watch him not win.
All right. For cinematography, we have 1917, The Irishman, Joker, Forrest Ferrari, and The Lighthouse. 1917.
I mean,
Go ahead,
I just gushed about the shot with the portrait of a town on fire. So yeah, Deacons.
Yeah. Begrudgingly
Yeah, I was
1917.
waiting for the begrudgingly. There we go.
There's literally no competition for
Hang on, I'm trying to work.
now,
I'm trying to see
honestly.
what Roger's doing next that might not be begrudgingly for you, Owen. Do we even know? Oh no, he's taking a break. Nothing's listed.
Again, after watching it again, I love Ford versus Ferrari to win this.
See, would the disappointment of the Goldfinch hurt it? I mean, I doubt. I don't think this is like Eddie Murphy, but I don't know.
I know there's a lot of people that are disappointed he's not doing Dune.
Yeah, but who's he got on that instead? I can't even remember.
Oh shit.
Dune 2020 film. Oh wow, not even a name that I recognise. Greg Fraser, Greig Fraser, who did. He's doing the Batman now. Vice, Rogue One, Lion, Mark, Foxcatcher. Whoa,
That's a good filmography.
he did Mark and Hot Damn in the he did both. Zero Dark 30, Snow White and the Huntsman, Killing Them Softly, Let Me In.
There is so many inside references from my group of friends in this lineup.
3 episodes of The Mandalorian. And his debut as cinematographer, Jew Boy. I wish I was making that up.
And I'm going to follow that up with, fun fact, Velma Schoonmaker was married to Michael Powell before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Powell and Pressburger connection right there. That's right.
And Bragg, I mentioned Powell lost 2 years for costume design for 2 period piece and 2 live-action Disney remakes.
Josephine with the weird question there.
Yeah. Good, Ashley, you have it in front of you.
Which
So go ahead.
cinematographer would we like to have do the family home videos, like of children playing or weddings or parties or whatever?
I don't even know where to start with that.
The problem is I don't want my films to look like fucking like paintings. I don't want my
So you're looking for Spike Jonze then?
That's not a bad idea.
A shitload of close-ups, but
Who's the cinematographer for all Paul Greengrass's shaky cam shit? Get him. I'm trying to look through the list. I'm just going through the BAFTA list, which is probably a mistake.
I'm looking at a list myself. Yeah,
Well,
I'm good with that.
I'm getting antsy about the next category because I did something that I'm probably going to regret.
I went with Richardson. Go ahead, AJ.
We're back in the Big 8.
It's the
Oh,
eight.
I know where you're going. Oh, I know where you're going with this. We had this
Wait.
conversation earlier.
Okay, before we do, because I don't trust Gold Derby. Before we do the Big 8, we didn't miss anything, did we?
No, that is everything. That is all the Tex and the British specialised ones done and dusted. We do just have the 8.
All right. these are easy. They're the Oscar nominees: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and The Two Popes. It used to be Zalian versus Gerwig. But then Gerwig had to go and get herself a director snub, pretty much making her the front runner in adapted screenplay to make up for that. But I feel like the BAFTAs don't seem to make it as much of a priority to appease controversies. And I feel like Zalian has kind of dropped off. So once again, my go-to when I'm stuck is go for the movie they gave 11 nominations to. And I know if there's one thing, one aspect that it's nominated for that Joker probably gets criticized the most for, that would be its script. But I mean, we live in a world where Green Book won the Oscar for original screenplay.
Yeah, but that screenplay looks okay. It's just the content of like the lines that are bad. There's literally a bloody stage introduction that says Arthur is the only white face.
Well, with all of this said, before I knew that piece of information, by the way, I've already marked it. I can't turn back now. So
I mean, you
I
can.
said,
Unless it's on my spreadsheet, you can.
well, I don't know because I'm clearly, because I feel like Gerwig is good to go Oscar wise. Like I would put money on down on that like right now. But I feel like one of these big eight has to be different. Even though I was the one that started this by saying BAFTA was going to be boring. But they gave it 11 damn nominations, so they love it. I'm just going to stick with Joker.
Okay.
I think I know where Ashley might be going with this, honestly, but I'm not positive. What do you got, Ashley?
Following the same logic of AJ.
Yep.
Jojo Rabbit.
That's exactly what I thought you would go with.
Jojo Rabbit's momentum is like better with every day. So
And
just the way he does
every
it.
Bit of
Did
it
you
too.
see what happened at the fucking DGAs when he got his like nominees thing? He was trying to yank it out the fucking box even though it's stuck there. It was like, yes, this guy don't give a shit, and we love it.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. Josephine asks, who would you rather score your life, John Williams or Hans?
Considering how all the honks would hide all my times that I farted, probably Hans Zimmer.
AJ, do you have an answer that I'm not going to begrudgingly talk about?
both of them are way too exciting for my life. if it's what is it, Zimmer or Williams?
Mm-hmm.
If it's somewhere in like the Home Alone area, I would say, like in that feel, I would say Williams.
Also, on a side note, given that we talked about Billie Eilish, what the hell is Hans Zimmer going to do with Bond in 2 months? Whoa!
Let's say rather score your life. Yeah, I'm going to say John Williams as well. Bry Guy says Green Book is the best script of last year and deservingly so for original screenplay.
Hold on.
What all was up last year? The Favorite? Are you sure The Favorite was there?
Let's look. The BAFTAs went with Favorite, Cold War, Green Book, Roma, and Hot Damn! I'm trying to think what I put in my dream picks. I'm going to have to go to last year's picks now, aren't I?
And while you're doing that, which film is most likely to go home empty-handed? Little Irishman.
The Irishman.
I'd say Irish.
Sadly, it's The Irishman.
And I said I think it was the cool guy pointed out he's gonna pull another fucking Gangs in New York.
All right. Best original screenplay.
All right. We have Booksmart, Knives Out, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
We real quick, we just completely glossed over the fact I didn't go, but I thought it was pretty obvious what I'm going with.
The future Oscar winner.
Yes. Finally.
All right.
Isle of Dogs had a better script than Green Book.
You're not wrong. And I haven't seen Green Book, but I loved Isle of Dogs.
And 8th grade. I mean, hell, it was in my 5.
It was in your 5.
Didn't get in, but I mean, it won what, best first feature or best debut or whatever. Well, no, didn't it? That was director, wasn't it, for best debut? But did it get in the? I can't remember if it won the Guild. I think it did, didn't it?
What's that?
8th grade won the Writers Guild for original.
Yeah, because he said the see you at the Oscars, losers.
Thanks, Bo.
Have fun at the Oscars, losers.
Alright.
All right. As far as original screenplay goes, obviously Tarantino has Globe and Critics' Choice, which on paper looks like good momentum, but they're not industry awards.
No.
And I was talking about with industry awards, we were going to start seeing a curve towards another movie when they came around. And obviously, we already talked about this with WGA because Tarantino wasn't there for obvious reasons. But I told you, Owen, this is the case of because he's not eligible, Tarantino not being a WGA does not hurt him.
Nope.
But assume if Parasite wins there, that's going to be really good for Parasite. And I feel like we're going to kind of start seeing a curve that sticks. So I went ahead and said Parasite here.
What do you got, Ashley?
I'm literally flipping between all 3 of Marriage Story, Parasite, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm gonna stick with Parasite, but in other news, all 5 should win. You know, I wouldn't say that shouldn't win. I'm pleased to see somebody actually recognise Booksmart. Thanks, Academy. You bastards.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could throw a curveball to Johnson, but I think that'd be more of a WGA move than a BAFTA move.
Yeah. Then again, for what they did to Daniel Craig. Rian Johnson, you legend. Get Sheila Burf clapping in the audience.
So, real quick, Josephine says, I contend The Favorite is one of the decade. It completely changed the period piece genre.
I mean,
It
yeah,
definitely-
because it wasn't really presented as a period piece. It sort of contemporized it to some extent, but then that's what you get from Yorgos Lanthimos. So.
Hey, I do still love The Favorite, says Bry Guy. It's just Green Book was a better script, but Favorite is a better movie. Favorite and Green Book are better than one movie from last year.
Don't you say?
Favorite... What?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't. Yeah.
My favorites last season were The Favorite and Hereditary, says Josephine. Well, let me take you on a journey, which we know where the journey ends, but still.
Right, I'll put the tick there. But I'm intrigued. Where's this journey going?
So Ryan Johnson would be great to be in here. I'd love that. I didn't see Booksmart, so I can't judge it either way, but I've heard great things. AJ's got a point about Parasite. He really does. And I'll tell you right now, if my predictions are correct, Baumbach wins WGA and really gets in this thing.
Good luck.
I know, but I still have that happening. So
I can't wait till we actually cover the DGAs and the WGAs with the BAFTAs on Sunday. If interesting shit does happen.
Yeah, no, I'm making a huge mistake. After what WGA did last year, I shouldn't be saying shit.
Yeah, at the rate we're going, fucking. Oh, thank
now,
God, Two Popes didn't get an adapted.
Honestly, Tarantino did not, like AJ said, is because of himself and not wanting to be a part of the guild, which I totally understand. He's not in this race at WGA, so he doesn't have a chance to see how he would do against the rest of the industry awards.
You've got to love it with Tarantino when he shows up to the Oscars luncheon in basically a Homer Simpson Pim Powell's fucking bowling shirt. That was awesome.
But speaking of Tarantino, I mean, of course,
Actually, wasn't it?
he's not going to win director now, so I think he's going to get screenplay, and that's going to be his award for the night.
What's fucking Madsen's character in Kill Bill?
Bud.
But yeah, but Bud's shirt reminds me of what Tarantino wore to that luncheon.
Nice.
I mean, they did use his car in the movie. Are we sure that's not actually Michael Madsen's shirt he was wearing?
All right, so here comes it's decision-making time. If we're in the same boat right now, we're in the acting categories.
Yeah, supporting actress. I kind of got into a semi-argument with somebody the other day about this. So, okay. Well, before we get into it, we have Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Florence Pugh for Little Women, Margot Robbie for Bombshell, Margot Robbie for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. This semi-argument started with somebody pointing out that they thought that because of the double nominations, that Johansson had a very slight possible chance to beat Zellweger. To which I replied, I was thinking the same thing, only not in leading. Because as we were saying, Jojo Rabbit's momentum keeps going up. Once the industry awards hit, Jojo Rabbit was having a constant increase. And when you look at the fact that because they were saying that Dern hasn't won yet, and she needs that career win, and Zellweger's already won, and that's why they were arguing that Johansson could beat her in leading as opposed to supporting.
Mm.
My argument was 2 of last year's wins were Ali, who had just won. So if you've already won, you can win again, Zellweger. And if you are going for your career win, they could very well say "fuck you," Glenn Close.
Yep.
So they could say "fuck you," Laura Dern, just like they said "fuck you," Glenn Close, if they wanted to.
They could.
But setting all these arguments aside, I'm not betting against Laura Dern. Fuck that.
What do you got, Ashley?
Laura Dern.
Okay. Now, so we get on my soapbox here.
Go ahead and pick Danny. Go ahead and pick Paige.
Here's the thing. anybody that has been paying attention for this entire season, I'm sure chat's going to remind me of this. I said Florence Pugh's got a chance to win BAFTA.
Yes. I'm not denying
And I have been saying this all season. And honestly, it still might happen. But I mentioned before something that was brought up in chat. I said Dern has beaten everybody that she's ever faced when it comes to the competition, except for Pugh. And then it brought up the fact that Pugh got nominated for Critics' Choice. So she's beaten Florence Pugh, which means it can happen again. And it will. Laura Dern.
Well, that was, we really dramatized that for no reason.
Yes. Yeah, it's predictable.
Hold,
All right.
Speaking of predictable, we'll get to that in a minute. Bright Guy says AJ does know which movie from last year I didn't like. I will say it's not a bad movie. Some good scenes. The best part was Topher Grace, and it's just some of the dialogue and performances that didn't work. That message at the end, I understand, but it was unnecessary.
Oh, I just think the whole fucking thing works. That's my only rebuttal to that.
Now I'm trying to work out what film that is.
Our buddy Brian doesn't like Black Klansman.
Oh.
No, he does not.
I thought he was bringing up. Oh, I don't know.
Well, we talked about shaking things up a bit. I think at this point we're now going to get to the hey, this is obvious. Why are we even going to say the awards? Best Supporting Actor.
Well, these names look familiar.
Yep.
Brad Pitt, Once Time in Hollywood.
The great thing is, all we heard is Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I think Mike sure sums it up.
No. To be fair, Ashley, I heard the end of the word Irishman in there too, but still, I know what you're talking about.
Now, regardless of how much of a shoo-in he is, this is how I felt about Frances McDormand a couple of years ago. Regardless of how much of a shoo-in they are, if I want them bad enough, I will always be scared.
Yes. Very, very true.
So with that in mind, I cautiously say Brad Pitt.
Ashley.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
All right, here's a much easier one. Actress.
This category is useless now. It really is.
Yeah, I don't know where people are. I mean, people, just maybe a couple of people I've heard are thinking that she can somehow lose to Johansson
in a British film.
I don't. Yeah. So Jessie Buckley for Wild Rose, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Charlize for Bombshell, Zellweger for Judy. Yeah, Zellweger.
Ashley.
Bridget Jones.
Little Chicago. Or I could always go with AJ, probably what you thought I was going to go. Who the hell is Renee Zellweger?
Okay, is that something you actually heard, or is that like a joke that just kept going?
It is from Chappelle Show.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were gonna go to fucking Me, Myself, and Irene.
Josephine says, I love Black Klansman. If I voted last year, I would put it number 2 under favorite. It was a weak year for nods last year. Bry Guy's personal rank for picture from 8 to 1st, Black Klansman, Roma, Black Panther, Star is Born, Vice, Bohemian Rhapsody, Green Book, and The Favorite.
Yeah. In case it's been forgotten, which I'm sure it hasn't, Mary Poppins Returns is my fucking wallpaper, and I still say Black Klansman was my favorite movie of last year.
Yep.
That's how much I fucking love Black Klansman.
As much as I love Three Billboards, I think Sally Hawkins should have won Best.
No, yeah, not only that, this Black Panther shirt that I keep wearing keeps contradicting that, but yes, Black Klansman was definitely my favorite movie of last year. All right, are we ready for actor?
Yeah.
Here we go.
So incredibly exciting. We have DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Taron Egerton for Rocket Man, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. I love that little moment at the luncheon where Jonathan Pryce seemed to be meeting DiCaprio for the first time. And he seemed really happy about it.
I did like the fact that somebody said, can we get DiCaprio's dad to play Frank Zappa in a biopic?
So, doesn't it feel like an eternity ago this was a race?
Yeah, it really does.
And it was like all those people like on internet comment sections that were saying Joaquin Phoenix was going to sweep, and we were like, is he though? Or are you getting your hopes up?
See, AJ, the best part about your diatribe right now is the fact that Adam Driver is staring at me right now while you're talking.
Yes, I did it.
Let's not gloss over
the mind control is going to work.
If only.
Hopefully everybody in the Academy watches this. Vote for Driver. Vote for Driver.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm going to go with Phoenix, of course.
Ashley.
I'm guessing you're going with Phoenix as well, Owen?
Obviously.
Good. Taron Egerton. This is my one difference. I just think that this is gonna be the swerve. Because there's always at least one swerve. I don't want Zellweger to be the swerve because that isn't a fucking swerve. I was hoping for other better performances so that Zellweger would be the swerve, but now that she isn't the swerve, I'm saying swerve too many times. But yeah, I'm gonna go down with the fire and say Egerton.
I'm going to tell you the same thing AJ tells me all the time when that don't look like they're going to happen. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
The difference is, though, before anything happened, I obviously would have seen a good reason to go with Egerton here. But I think Phoenix is too powerful, especially if they love Joker that much. Why wouldn't they give it to the best absolute part of the movie? The main actor.
So the question now is, are we getting a composed speech or a not so composed speech?
I mean, it might be composed because, you know, he probably spent time writing it because he wasn't at the Oscar luncheon. And I'm pretty sure he didn't have that much of an excuse, like he was filming something else. unless he is somehow in the Batman on that first day of filming when they had the luncheon on Monday. So I don't know.
Best director.
All right, for Best Director, we have Sam Mendes for 1917. The End. But the others are Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. Once again, the Oscar nominees.
Mm-hmm.
When we did the Guild videos, I had said that Mendes would win DGA and 1917 would win PGA. But that neither one of those things would completely take out Bong Joon-ho or Parasite. If that were to be the case, I am starting to think that one of those things may no longer be true. I think that Mendes is going to be just fine for pretty much the next few weeks, or couple of weeks, whatever it is. So, no reason to drag that out as much as I did Mendes.
Ashley.
You're going begrudgingly, aren't you?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it doesn't seem like BAFTA took as much to Parasite as most places did by its nominations. I think Todd Phillips could shock here. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
Really? Because I'd be fucking shocked.
No, I wouldn't be. If we're talking about a surprise, that's going to be your surprise. I wouldn't be overly surprised if it happens. If you had to pick who was going to win out of the obvious, Phillips would be the one I'd go with. Tarantino should be a lot more in this than he is. And Scorsese is just along for the ride at this point because he's not anywhere in contention. Yeah. I can't. I got to be safe this time around, especially since there's points on the line and I'm actually doing well this season. Begrudgingly, Mendes.
Get ready with that. Good luck with that, because I'm sticking on the Bong train.
I hope you're right.
I'm sticking on the Bong train. I think, not to sort of influence what I'm going to say for the last category, but Mendes isn't getting in here for a probably more important one.
I would be very happy if Mendes lost, but I don't see it happening.
All right. Are we ready to end BAFTA?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Our picture nominees are 1917, The Irishman, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Now, while I do think that today's purchase does have a chance in the long run, very much so, that I shaped my guild predictions around it, we have been saying that BAFTA has been rarely matching lately. So, for multiple reasons, I guess you could say, I said 1917.
Ashley.
I didn't go with it in British film because it's not going to win that, but it's going to win Best Film.
I'd love to say Joker here. Odds-wise, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I remember we were both humoring the idea around the same time, and then I looked it over again and was like, no, I probably shouldn't do that.
I'm wondering, because of the time of the releases, though, whether the BAFTAs, all this hype for Joker could go down to not very much. Because it was the hot thing when the nominations came out, but it's cooled down quite a bit compared to other films. So don't be so confident. Also, everybody likes snubbing Bradley Cooper at award shows, so technically they'd be snubbing it again.
That's ridiculous. I'm still angry about that. So, Bragg, I'll get to chat real quick before I give my answer. Bragg Guy says, and I'll say this too, as much as I like Vice, Rockwell, hot damn, was one of the weakest things about Vice, said the person who didn't like The Big Short but loved the movie. If I voted for the Oscars last year, picture would have been Bohemian Rhapsody, Green Book, and The Favorite. Josephine says, I feel the Academy likes to give Best Director to fancy names like Cuarón, Inarritu, Chazelle, and Del Toro. Particularly fancy Spanish-sounding names because it's exotic. But I had Never Look Away, Paddington 2. Yes.
Paddington 2,
Will you be my neighbor?
motherfuckers!
Exactly. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Can You Ever Forgive Me? As much as I want Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to win this, and it deserves it, as much as I'd like to see The Irishman come back into this, that would be nice. But at the end of the day, got to go with what brought you to the dance. Don't bet against a British movie in a British Oscar race. 1917.
I just had the weirdest flash in my mind when Ashley brought up Bradley Cooper. I'm imagining going back to 2009 and watching The Hangover for the first time and saying Bradley Cooper is going to work with this director to make a Joker movie that will result in Bradley Cooper's 8th Oscar nomination. None of that makes sense in 2009.
It does not. But what does make sense is this show is over. I don't know what we're doing the BAFTA Popcast on Sunday. I don't know how that's going to work right now.
We'll discuss it in between the BAFTAs and the Spirits. I think I may have worked it out, but we'll also need to do some checking after the Spirits thing that we do in a minute. I have looked in the past decade, only 2 films have done the British and Best Picture double. I guess this is a pop quiz for AJ.
I know one's 3 Billboards.
Yeah.
And I feel like the other was Near It. I feel like they were both recent.
No. Think back 10 years.
10 years. See.
Think 1917.
The Hurt Locker?
Think Good Luck.
I just got totally lost.
Good Luck is the last words that you see from Colin Firth.
The King's Speech?
Yeah. King's Speech
Yeah,
in 2010 got the double.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because they love the King's Speech so much that they actually gave Carter supporting actress.
Because they're idiots.
And that's your show. If you're live with us right now, we'll be with you momentarily to talk about the Film Independent Spirit Awards. If you're not live, then it'll be on probably, most likely, one of the next videos on this channel. So, and stay tuned Thursday night, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Maybe a little bit after, maybe like 6:05, 6:15 ish. Our final Oscar predictions.
You're like Steve Coogan in The Trip, 9:30 ish.
Yeah.
On a side note, considering I saw the trailer, excited for Greed? AJ?
What was it again?
Greed. The new Michael Winterbottom Steve Coogan collab.
Oh. This may be the first time I'm hearing about it.
I mean, it's also got David Mitchell in as well, so you might get even more excited. I don't know. Okay.
All right, so that's your show.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing to end a BAFTA video.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
you know, Michael Winterbottom, he's British. It's a film for production.
Right. So that's your show. Join us in a little bit or tomorrow or another day for the Film Independent Spirit Awards podcast. And then we'll be doing a BAFTA wrap up, also talking about the guilds that we have yet to announce. That's also going to be on Sunday too. So time to be announced. And that's your show. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, AJ. And until a little bit later, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.